Hi everyone, we are standing inside this Thor Motor Coach Tuscany 45MX. We are really excited to show you guys what this has to offer. I'm Ashley Burgess and I'm standing next to Adam Gudger with Thor, and he's going to take us on a walkthrough. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Ashley. Thank you. So yeah, it's our brand new 45 bath and a half. It'll be our best seller like it is every year. And every year we think, well, gosh, this is the best we could ever do with a bath and a half. But I think we actually figured out a way to make it a little bit better. One of the things we did this year is we actually expanded the living room. So it was kind of a weird deal. We took the 45 AT, our 44 MT, and then our 42 GX, and we essentially blended all three together. So one of the things that's a real highlight is you'll notice how much open space we have up here. We really have a ton of living room. This is the most square footage we've ever put in a unit. When you slide over here, you can see the galley's just massive with a pull-out galley extension. And then one of the things that the 45 had lacked was a pantry. So everybody wants a pantry, actually. So we added one of those. A bath and a half, it's that rear bath setup. You have your own place. So why not make it a master rear bathroom? So what we did is we actually took those dual sinks and we slid them out now. So it really opens up the space. We increased the shower size and it's just a much, much better layout. And then when you slide around to this side, you'll notice we added a fireplace permanently. It used to be with the 45 AT, you had to order it with a desk and then it had the fireplace kind of next to the Euro. Now you get opposing seating like you see here, yet the fireplace is going to be intact no matter what. So pretty awesome stuff. And we actually even redesigned our booth dinette. So the standard furniture arrangement in the MT is a little different than you'll find in most coaches, where it's almost like a J lounge that kind of slides into a booth. But where we changed it is that it no longer has a curve on the end of it. And so where it used to be, you'd struggle to have two people sitting on either side. Now you have a booth dinette where you can be real comfortable with four folks.
No, it's nice. There's tons of space. Like that's huge area there. No, this is really nice. So I do want to hear a little bit more about some of the other floor plans that the Tuscany has to offer.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we take a seat and take a look?
Awesome. Thank you. All right. You weren't kidding. This is really spacious.
I told you.
Okay, so Adam, this is the 45MX Tuscany, bath and a half. What other floor plans do we have for the Tuscany?
We actually have a total of 4 now. And so starting with the 38 SQ. So we like to have something that's under 40 feet because in the state of California and then just overall, I think some people just prefer to have something a little bit shorter. And so it's a non-tag, but just a ton of room in it. And it's a non-bath and a half, and it has a kind of a dual entry into the middle of the coach for the bathroom area. So it kind of serves as a bath and a half without having actually investing all that space. And really a great sofa with dual theater seating across from a very large TV. And yeah, so it's a really nice setup and been a very popular one for us. And then we graduate from that up to the 40 RT, which is actually an iteration of the 3901 Aria, which has been very popular, but probably the best 40-foot bath and a half I would say in the business right now. It's got a huge galley in it, opposing seating. We were able to redesign. It's actually an elevation of what the 40DX was, and we took the shower, we made it bigger, which was a weakness. So we did a lot of things with that coach to really make it just a really, really sharp, good looking coach. And it's also got a fireplace in it, which the DX didn't have as well, which, I'm big into fireplaces, as you'll soon learn. And then from there, we talk about the 45MX, but we also have coming up a new one called the 45JA. And speaking of fireplaces, that one's the first one we've ever offered with 2 fireplaces, believe it or not.
And where are they both in the galley? Or?
No, we actually put one right off of the kitchen, and we have a really cool new surround that we're going to be designing for it. And then in the bedroom now, we're going to have a fireplace. Okay. So, cool. I mean, who doesn't want a fireplace in the bedroom? It gets toasty. And then the one other thing, actually, I have a feeling you really like is it's actually got a walk-in closet in it.
Oh, get out of town. That's pretty cool.
Which is something we've never done before in this coach. And I'd have to go way back to my Beaver years. We had a floor plan back in the middle 2000s called the Moonstone. And so I was excited to be able to try something a little different. It's got the biggest shower we've ever offered. It's got a huge living room. So I think folks will be really excited when they get to see it.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. All right, Adam, thank you so much. Those floor plans sound absolutely awesome. It seems to be there's something for everyone. But this particular unit, the 45MX, I mean, this is a brand new Coach, correct? Brand new floor plan.
And this is really our bread and butter.
Yeah.
And there's a reason we picked this one, because I mean this has all the ingredients of what you need if you want to be a full timer, if you just want to be a weekend warrior. It's got everything. I mean, starting up front, I mean, you just look. I mean, it's got the theater seating, it's got the directional TV, it's got so much versatility. Actually, I mean, one of the things that I don't think people realize is the floor plan doesn't dictate the furniture. So with the way we design these things, I mean, you can put a computer desk in, which we have available. There's a freestanding dinette, so if you prefer, you know, that style, it's got a little more storage in it for you. It's really, really awesome. And all of our floor plans have this overhead bed as well, and that's one thing I always try to make sure people don't forget, because we actually designed this floor plan to where we can sleep more people, and it's just going to be more comfortable for everybody.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, and these look awesome. So theater seats here.
Absolutely. So when you sit down, you know, you're comfortable, and you know, you can really, you know, kick back and recline. One of the things a few years ago that we realized is that you know, it's really hard to watch television when you're constantly looking to the left or the right. And so what's nice is you can lift this TV up, and you can be comfortable.
Okay, very cool.
And so I'll show you right here. And not even a lot of people realize that it's even there. And you'll notice that it's got a very large window behind it as well. We did a really good job of designing that sound bar in a nice place to really provide, you know, proper sound.
That's huge.
And
that TV is so big.
When you don't want it, you just put it away. But yeah, it's a 55-inch smart TV, so you know, if you want to operate your internet off of it, you can do that. And we did add a 4G Winegard 2.0 Connect system last year, and actually it's a newer version that we've gone to for 2019, and we're doing it across the board in the diesels. And so, you know, if you want to use any of your service providers that the folks have, Verizon, AT&T, you can switch out the SIM card and do that. All the electronics are, you know, top notch. We really focus on making sure that, you know, we put the proper type of equipment in the unit.
Yeah, no, this is really nice. The setup in here is awesome. It's so spacious.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple other changes. I mean, you look over the top here, you have a brand new ceiling design. A couple years ago we went to that, and
no, that's really nice, Adam. I love all the extra details you guys put into here. It's really, really pretty. And so cup holders here in your theater seats, and then what's in this thing?
It's storage.
Oh my gosh, that's huge. You can put games or anything else in there. No, that's really nice. Well, I'm excited to see some more. Let's go.
Take a look.
All right. And all the lighting, it's really well lit in here.
Yeah, and they're all in dimmers, so it really makes it to where you can kind of set the mood. And you'll notice we've actually even added some new tile for this year. It's a new porcelain that I think just ties better in with the color. New carpet color as well. A great granite style accent. You know, with a lot of the companies, it's just simply wallboard, and so we framed this in and really kind of dressed up the fireplace area, made it more residential looking.
Just everything. Even the cabinets and flooring right when I walk in are just stunning in here. So I love this.
Well, so in all our cabinetry is maple hardwood.
Okay.
This happens to be our Pacific cabinet color. We also have a darker one called Milan, and then we have a lighter one called Newport that we just introduced last year. But all of this is hardwood, and even if you go over here, Ashley, where your hands are, this veneer is all real hardwood. We'll find with a lot of the companies, they just put these almost like a paper wall in. Yeah. And the problem is that, you know, cabinetry, as it ages, the color will change even when it's stained. And so, you know, we just want to make sure that everything looks the same way it did while it was purchased. And you know, having the nicer quality materials, we have an Amish company that actually produces all of it for us, and then we just assemble it. So it really just makes for a huge difference. And, you know, just pointing out some of the things, just the storage alone, I mean, just storage everywhere, and it's deep. And it really just allows you to not have to sacrifice what you're bringing along with you. This galley is something that we've started to use, and really just about every floor plan you can see that, you know, the extension comes out here.
Oh yes, I love this feature.
And it just creates all this extra countertop space.
Yes, this is really nice. Tons of space.
We changed the backsplash this year as well. It's probably my favorite one that we've done. And
yeah, it's pretty.
And we still left a window, so it's got almost like a nice large bay style window in it, so you still have the ability to, you know, see out and yeah, so it's really awesome. And then if you take a look here,
Oh,
We've even added almost like a kind of a pots and pan,
this is nice,
type drawer there, and a place to put your sink
nice.
covers as well. So just very deep, very nice.
Yeah, no, that's really nice feature. Deep sink here, and then cooktop here, induction cooktop.
It's an induction cooktop, so don't have to worry about the grandkids coming around and putting their hand on something and burning themselves, because it works with magnetism, so it really works well. And then we have a dish drawer, believe it or not, that's standard as well. So I do a lot of dishwashing, and as you can see, it's a nice large unit, but it's in a compact space, and it really does the trick.
Wow, this is so much larger than I thought it would be. Really nice. So let me ask you this. Can I use this while going down the road?
You can. It's got a locking mechanism on it, so you don't have to worry about it opening up. And it's funny because I've had customers in the past say, well, Adam, I don't want to invest this space in the dishwasher, but we have a lot of customers who, believe it or not, they'll actually store their dishes in there as well, because it's a good way to keep them good and safe and
secure.
Absolutely.
No, this is nice. Just all the little aesthetic details here. Like even this little backsplash you guys put in here, a little piece.
Yeah, so it ties in with the backsplash really nice, and we've even added a drawer underneath as well. You just didn't want to leave any space uncovered, so we did put that in.
Yeah, y'all are good at that. No, this is really, really nice. And then we've got our Whirlpool microwave up here.
Yep, convection 30-inch microwave, so it does really a great job for us, and then also a Whirlpool refrigerator, and we upgrade.
Fridge.
Yep, so this is a French door, so it actually has the pull-out freezer on the bottom of it.
I love that. Home away from home for sure. No, this is great. You've got your freezer down here. Nice. Really nice. All right, and this right here is...
This is our pantry that I was talking about before. So we got a lot of feedback from Tuscany owners saying, please, on our 45, let's figure out a way to get a pantry in it. And with this full wall slide that we have, it really allows us to gain about 1.5 feet of extra space. And so in addition to square footage, we get a lot of usable space in here. And everybody needs a pantry and any type of residence. So obviously we have to have it in our best one.
No, that's nice. Tons of space in here.
That's right, and well built. It's all built by the same company that does our cabinets for us. So it's stuff that's going to stay together and very high quality.
Yeah, no, that's really nice. Love that. Lots of space. Oh, and then behind here we've got...
You get your half bathroom.
Okay, here we go. Here it is.
Get that for you.
Oh, wow. This is awesome. I love everything in here, like all the decor. You guys really outdid yourselves.
Yeah, we actually added new wallboard for this year too. I think it really is very striking, and it goes really well with all the interior.
It really does.
We added a backsplash in the half bathroom as well, and nice large solid surface sink.
And the countertops are really pretty.
Yeah, and without having to invest too much space, really anybody could sit in this half bath and be comfortable.
And then in this model, so you've got AC running in here.
You do. You have AC running, and then we also have the Aqua Hot system that actually runs in here as well. So you have both heat and you have air conditioning. And we put heat pumps on all 3 roof air conditioners because this has 3 15 BTU airs on it.
Oh, wow.
So it really makes a difference.
Yeah, no, that's great. Oh, now I do know it's really important to consumers, just accessibility to the bathroom, like while in transit. Are you able to access easily when the slides are closed and you're rolling down the road?
100%. And you'll notice that we hinge it on the right side, so when the slide is closed, we make it even that much easier because you don't have to walk around the door. Your refrigerator is going to be accessible as well. You want to be able to grab that ham sandwich or glass of milk or whatever. But yeah, the whole coach itself, we really start with, in the original design, of taking a look at what the slide outs look like, closed and open.
Okay.
Because really, I think one of the greatest things about RVing is when you're traveling. But the problem is there's a lot of manufacturers out there that forget about that. And the only place you can sit is up front in the pilot and co-pilot seats, which really that's not what it's about. It's about bringing the family in and making this coach workable all the time. I mean, you start with the front, for instance. I mean, this bed, whether the slides are in or not, you can sleep people up there.
Even the little things like all the cup holders that you really don't have to worry about, things spilling, or it's made for the road.
That's right.
I love that.
Yeah, we just added cup holders, for instance, with this booth because, I mean, when you're traveling, you don't want the cups to fall over the place. So yeah, we're continuing to look at things and say, you know what? At the end of the day, this is still a motorhome. This is still a motor coach, and we just want to make sure that the lifestyle down the road is as much fun as it is when you're parking.
No, I agree. And it's such a luxury motor coach that a lot of people would just assume it's just for couples or, just traveling the road. But you guys can really accommodate like such a huge family in this coach. So I think it's awesome. What a great floor plan. Well, Adam, you've already shown us so many awesome features on this coach. And I guess my question to you would be, how challenging would it be to own and operate, a coach of this size? I can tell you I'm a little overwhelmed at times, and I'm not so tech savvy. So is it challenging or?
The new technology that we have available to us now makes it simple.
Okay.
So I'd love to show you this new command center because I think I'm going to set your mind at ease.
Okay, please. Thank you.
So here we are at the command center, and as you can see, we're set up to where it's just really simple to use, Ashley.
All right. So there's your master light on and off there. Okay.
So how good is that? So when you come in the coach, you don't have to constantly try to look and find to turn the lights on. You can actually turn them all on or on off at one time.
Okay, and then that's the TV, what you did earlier.
Yeah, so another place where you can raise it up and down, maybe on the way back to the bedroom and you forgot, so you can slide it right down that way.
Nice. And then this one.
So that's your electrical system. So batteries, inverter, you want to set up your auto generator start. It's all right here. I mentioned how important batteries are with some of the previous coaches we've gone over, but you really have a good idea of how all the functions are working. This has an energy management system on it as well. So a lot of times at the parks, they will not give you as much electricity as you really think they are, or it'll change, depending on how many units are in the park. So it'll actually manage your electricity so you don't use too much energy while you're operating the coach, which is really good for your utilities and your appliances and all your electronics to make sure they stay in a good health. And then
you've got, I'm assuming, lighting?
Yeah, so each individual light, and one of the things that we've heard a lot of over the years is, I wish we'd label lights. This actually will show you exactly which light to turn on and off.
Okay, easy enough. Temperature, easy enough.
There you go. So yeah, you can set them all. You can see there's heat pumps on each, the Aqua Hot system. But yeah, just managing all the different zones of the coach.
You're right. This is pretty user-friendly.
Fans.
And then...
Yep. So, and then you can see it's all color-coded. So not only do you know which slide you're operating, but we make it a little bit easier to recognize. You got your door awning switch, and it always warns you to make sure. A lot of people don't realize that you actually want to have your jacks down, everything's set up properly. Before you operate your slides, it'll warn you. There's a new tilt-a-view mechanism in the rear bedroom that I'll show you, but it'll just remind you to do all these different things before you operate the slides.
It's a little checklist.
You got it.
This is great.
You got
and then just settings in general.
Yeah, and just the settings switch. So this will help with that, but then it also helps with troubleshooting. So what's neat about this whole system, first and foremost, it's app driven as well. So if you're comfortable on that theater seat up front and you want to operate all this stuff, you can do the same thing with your phone. But one of the things that kind of drove our ability to do this was the multiplexing idea in the first place, because with this system, you can actually troubleshoot and you don't have to trace a wire to find out where the disconnect is. We've actually, believe it or not, eliminated about 12 pounds of wiring per unit. So customers just don't have the problems. Anybody that's looking at a Tuscany more than likely has owned another RV before and they've had an electrical issue. So it'll be nice when they come into this one, they don't have those problems anymore.
No, this is great. And you're right. It seems really, really easy to use, and love that. I can just download the app for that. So cool. Thank you.
You're going to enjoy it for sure. So we've gone over this now, but what do you say I show you the master suite on the unit?
Awesome. Yes, let's do it.
All right. After you.
Thank you. Oh, wow. No, you weren't kidding. This is really pretty. This is nice. Well, tons of room in here.
Tons of room and, really privacy. Nice. So this will slide across, which really does a great job of separating the space. And yeah, and this is actually, if you notice, this matches the new ceiling design.
In the front. Yeah, no, that's really nice touch. This is really, really nice. So you've got wardrobe here.
No, this is actually, believe it or not, an appliance. So this is your stacked washer dryer.
Oh, there we go. We need that. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, awesome.
But yeah, so one thing you'll notice when you walk in, first thing is how much open space you have. And the reason why we're able to do that is this new tilt-a-view bed mechanism. So obviously it's nice because if you like to watch television in bed, you can slide this up and get comfortable. But it does something even what I think is more important is it allows us to build all this extra depth. And so that allowed us to be able to put the stackable here, which we didn't have to put it in the bathroom. You have these huge drawers. Really? And then where the TV is located, there's, believe it or not, there's even storage underneath it, and quite a bit.
Yeah, tons of storage.
So really cool.
Cabinet in there.
Yeah, and you can see with the receiver and everything else. So we put a Winegard Trav'ler Satellite system on, and it's set up for DirecTV. And actually, we upgraded it for 2019. So really does a great job. And that's your switch box up there, so that you can put a second receiver in. Because most people like to be able to watch 2 different channels at the same time. You'll be able to do that. And then actually, right on the other side is more wardrobe. Oh, tons. Again, you know, one thing that we've never ever been able to figure out is how to put enough wardrobe in these coaches, and so leveraging this tilt-a-view mechanism allowed us to deepen this up, and we went ahead and brought the drawers out deeper as well. And
no, that's nice.
Yep,
Everything and then so deep.
Yeah, and then underneath the bed there's even more drawers.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, we try to put them everywhere, and one of the things I always like to highlight too is we're never satisfied with these floor plans, and so when we design them, we design around certain elements. And one of the big ones is king beds, because that seems to be the primary choice for most people. In fact, we don't even offer anything but a king in the Tuscany. But you'll notice even like walking around the sides of the bed, how much room you have. So whether the bed's up or down, you can literally get on and off the bed from the right place. You don't have to walk up from the base of it, which is no fun. And then look at these nightstands. We actually increased the depth of them by about 4 inches.
And this one on this side, that's huge.
It's massive. So that's one of the great things about doing a master bath setup and tying the slide all the way into the rear bathroom is you have this huge nightstand. And so whether you have, you know, sleep apnea, you need a CPAP machine. In fact, you could have 2 on this coach if you wanted to. Wow. We have some competitors where the only place you could do it is up top. But what I mean by that is with, you know, some of the manufacturers, they design these coaches and then they say, oh, well, if you want a king bed, we'll just slap it into the same space. Well, this is 12 inches wider. And so we design the whole space differently. There's even storage in these nightstands as well. So yeah, just a ton of stuff. Look at the overheads, for instance, just massive. I mean, I can't even get my arm all the way through it. So yeah, we really do a good job. There's even a window here, so you have the ability to get a little ventilation. But
this is nice. Yeah, so when you close the slides, do I need to keep the bed? It's tilted. Okay,
that's correct.
And that's why you have so much extra space in here.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better bedroom anywhere you're going to find.
And this, so this is different. This is really nice because it's just tile throughout.
It is.
Usually, isn't there like a carpet that's just kind of stuck here?
Correct.
Kind of shoved. Okay.
Yeah, so
got rid of all that. No,
so
this is really nice.
Yeah, usually what happens is with a lot of the manufacturers is about half this depth, and then you have a little piece of carpet that's sticking out underneath it. And the way that we design our coaches, you don't have to do that.
No, this is nice, and it makes just for cleaning easier too.
Yeah, it's all porcelain tile here, so there's nothing to worry about. And one thing I didn't talk about before, but with the tile, is that when we do our manufacturing, we actually put a substrate called Schluter that we put underneath the tile. So in home building, they're actually putting these things down because houses will settle, and so it could cause cracking over the course of time. Well, obviously this is like a rolling earthquake moving down the road. As well as we do with manufacturing, there's still vibration and energy that can get up in. So when we build these coaches, we're the only manufacturer currently in the industry that actually puts a substrate down so that this tile is going to be able to hold up and stand the test of time.
Wow. No, this is really nice. Sturdy and beautiful at the same time.
Thank you very much.
This is great. Okay, so I can't get over it. I keep noticing this huge master bathroom to the right of me. So I'm ready to go take a look inside.
It's the best there is.
It's awesome. It's so cool. Wow. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. This is really pretty. There's so much space in here.
The most popular floor plans that we have in diesels are always going to be the rear baths. And so a few years ago, we said, you know, how do we make this rear bath even better? And so as you can see here, with incorporating the sinks onto the slide out, it essentially makes the room twice the size.
It's huge. It really is. I forget that I'm even in a motorhome right now. I feel like I'm just at a 5-star resort. No, this is really nice. And the shower, oh my goodness.
Again, you know, we were talking about some of the changes we wanted to make and some of the improvements. Well, the 45 AT, what I thought was a weakness was the shower size. And so we took what was one of our smaller shower sizes and we made it the biggest one that we could possibly have. And, you know, having this teak seat so you can sit down to shave your legs.
That's nice.
Maureen was nice enough to find a new oxygenic shower head that has a nice handle on it as well. So it really provides you with some nice space. And that's all tile, by the way. That's the real stuff. So, yeah, we've invested a lot of money in making sure that it's aesthetically pleasing and high quality.
Yeah, no, you can tell. This is really pretty. Honestly, I think this is my favorite spot on the entire motor coach. So it's really nice.
I think I'd have to agree with you.
All the cabinetry in here, tons of space, tons of storage.
Incredible depth, incredible countertop space. So, you know, you can put your makeup up there. Plenty of room for a couple and lots of storage throughout.
Wow, no, this is really nice. Wow.
Well, I'm really glad you like it.
I literally have forgotten that we are sitting on wheels with an engine. I feel like I'm just in a home away from home. Truly. Like, this is awesome. What an awesome experience this has been. Adam, what about that closet? Is that the entire closet right there?
The full 96 inches of the inside of this coach.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and there's even a shoe compartment in the back there, so you can put all your shoes in it.
Yes. Officially, this is my favorite room. Definitely. No, this is wonderful. Wow, this is really, really nice. Awesome. Ooh, thank you, Adam.
You're welcome.
I guess that's probably about it of this one, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, let's go up front. I want to show you the cab because I think you're going to be even more comfortable when we get you behind the wheel.
Oh, good. Okay, let's do it.
All right, after you.
Thank you. Wow, Adam, what an incredible coach this is. Very, very impressive. I know when walking up here, again, remind me, so we've got an overhead bunk.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep, it drops right down from the ceiling.
And that sleeps 2 people, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It'll hold 500 pounds. Nice. I mean, you could put 2 adults up there if you wanted to.
Okay, very nice. And then you've got your master bedroom in the back.
That's right.
And then any more sleeping up here?
There is. So when we do offer the ensemble, which is our standard, the booth dinette that comes with it, that's a dream dinette. So that bed will be created by just dropping the table down. And then there's also another sleeper that's built right into the sofa.
Awesome. Again, it goes back to not just being a couple's coach. So it's a luxurious coach, but it definitely can accommodate a lot of people. So
yeah, there's a lot of versatility. We can definitely accommodate a big family if you want to.
Awesome. Well, now that you're in the captain's seat, if you will, talk to us a little bit about the drivability of this thing. How difficult is this? It's
really easy, to be honest. One of the great things about the Tuscany is the fact that it's got an independent front suspension.
Okay.
So we talk about Freightliner and we talk about the Atlas Foundation, but we're also really upgrading the content of the chassis itself. We put the bigger tires on, for instance. We do up to 315s, I guess, is on the front axle. It's got V-Ride technology, so the drive axle is going to be really great. The airbags get larger. And then it's got a TRW steering gear and then this independent front suspension. That's kind of like the ultimate of all. So it really helps cut down on the body roll in this way.
Okay.
Really allows you to manage a large vehicle in between the lines. You don't get pushed around by the trucks when you're on the road. And yeah, anybody can drive one, really.
All right. Well, you'll have to show me. Maybe I'll take it for a spin later.
I think you definitely should.
Yes. And what about up here in the front? So I guess we've got anything new? Huge screen. Wow.
That's right.
That's a huge touch screen there.
This is the nicest GPS you're going to find. It's a Ram McNally. So it's a huge, I think it's 10.4 inches, and it's got navigation built in. It's actually, believe it or not, an RV navigation system. So it does all the great functions for you there. And obviously your rear camera, your side cameras are all contributed to that. And yeah, so we just want to make sure you're comfortable and you know exactly what your surrounding environment's like so that you have no problem driving it.
And that's what I was going to say. So the RV navigation, does it specifically map out like a route for you for your RV? So if you're going somewhere, it kind of tells you the best way to get there based on your size or whatnot.
It does, okay. Yeah, and height's another thing to be considering too, because this thing, it's like 12 feet 7 to the top of the air conditioner. So, obviously we don't want you driving somewhere where there's a lower bridge and you could clear your roof off, because believe it or not, it's happened in the past. Not any of ours that I'm aware of, but you definitely have to be careful and make sure you're going the right way. And if you do have to turn this thing around or back it up, we do use a better cramp angle because of that independent front suspension. It actually takes that 55 and and makes it to where you can even turn tighter. And
wow, okay.
When the coaches are longer, that means a huge difference. And this being a tag axle, you also have the ability to take the weight off of those tag wheels. So your pivot point literally comes to your drive axle. So it really shortens the wheelbase by doing that, and it makes it much easier.
I mean, it's huge and it's impressive, but it does seem like it would be a little bit easier to drive. So you're kind of more comfortable behind the wheel.
Believe it or not, the bigger and more expensive the coaches are, the better they are to drive. So yeah, so this is our flagship coach, so it has to be that way.
And going back to turning, so side view cameras, I'm
correct.
guessing, and then is the same ability when you click on the turn signal. It'll automatically go to that one.
It does.
I love that safety feature.
Yeah, it automatically does. And when you put it in reverse, it automatically goes to the rear. And, we put docking lights on both the side and the rear as well. So, even if you want to park it at night, you can do that really easily.
Awesome. Well, it's definitely comfortable up here. So this is awesome. Or kind of just swivels and
it swivels, and believe it or not, there's actually a footrest on the co-pilot chair as well, so you can kick back. So whether you want to use it when you're traveling down the road or when you're here living in the living room.
Electric.
So,
oh, nice.
Pretty nice, huh?
I think I'm just going to take a nap now.
I think that's a good idea.
No, this is great. I guess we'll turn around. Is there anything you want to show us on the dash?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, wow, Adam, I didn't even realize there was a TV up here.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice feature with, people in the bunks. You'll have something, and then also obviously on the curb side of the coach, you have a way to watch television. Nice.
So when the bunk drops down, the TV's for them, and then also the cabinetry stays put.
It does.
So, okay.
Yeah, whether you have the overhead bed or not, which is a standard feature, by the way, but you can delete it if you want to.
Okay.
All that cabinetry is going to look exactly the same.
Nice. Really, really nice. Very cool. So take it away. Tell us a little bit, what do we need to know up here?
Sure. So, one of the really nice things about the Tuscany is the fact that the baggage doors are actuated, so they're all unlocked. So you can actually lock all your baggage doors right here at the flip of the switch. It's also on the key fob as well. Okay. You have automated shades, both the sunshade and the blackout shade in the front for privacy. And so all those switches are here. We always have a generator start switch up front. This has a 10 kilowatt own and quiet diesel generator because it does have the 315 B2 air conditioner, so we put it on a bigger generator, and it's actually on a power hydraulic tray, so I'll get to show you what that's all about. And then when you get here, you'll see you have some USB connections, 12 volt, and so just and all your air conditioning dash air conditioning controls are right here and easily accessible. One thing that you might see is a difference is we actually have a push button start on here.
See that, yeah.
In automotive, it's become really popular, and especially for people that are looking at this type of vehicle, it's probably something they're more common with. So you have to worry about having your keys to start the unit. You can just have the key fob within close proximity to this, and you just basically just put your foot on the brake and you can start it right up. It makes it really easy.
Yes, nice.
All your controls for your steering wheel, we call it a VIP smart wheel. So you have cruise control as well as your wiper controls that are right here, and this also has an air horn on it. So when you hit the middle section here, definitely people will know you're coming. Very visible gauges as well. It's really important to us that people have the ability to see well. You see these ones that are black and hard to read, and with ours they're probably as good as it gets. You can see your DPF levels. You have a trip monitor. It's an ILB system that Freightliner uses, so everything's really nice. And you'll notice even with the shape of the dash, again, you have really great visibility, and that's something that's always very important to us. The chair has a 6-way adjustment to it, so you can get it positioned exactly how you want. You can adjust the steering wheel and tilt it and telescope it, so whatever makes sense for you and your size, it makes it worthwhile. And then when you come on over here to the other side, there's actually a pedal adjustment as well. So depending if your legs are longer or shorter.
No, that's really cool.
You have that ability, and then also I mentioned that tag dump, so you can get all the air out of that. The nice thing about this feature though is that if you forget that you have it down, obviously you don't want to be traveling at high speeds without weight on your tag wheels. It'll automatically push that tag axle down second gear, so you never have to worry about forgetting about it. You got some dash fans which are up above to keep you nice and cool and also help with defrost. And then right down below the air horn switch, which you can turn off if you want to, is your engine brake. And so there's a little bit difference with the engine brakes when you get into the tag axle coaches. So, you know, we already are upgrading the braking system on a Tuscany where we put disc brakes on board. But when you get up into the tags, obviously they're longer, they're heavier, and, you know, safety is just our number one priority. So we actually upgrade the engine retarding system on this coach to what's called a compression brake. So you're literally actually shutting valves down on the engine to help slow the coach down. And there's actually two different stages where you can do a high and a low. So you can either shut off, it's either 3 or 6 valves on the engine, I believe is what it is. So it really does a great job of really pulling that coach back and allowing you to be contained. Because if you're traveling in, you know, real high elevations and you're descending, the last thing we want you to do is to put too much pressure on your air braking system and heat that up, and this will alleviate some of that pressure. And then sliding over, you know, a few more lighting switches, and then over here on the side, you have your mirror heat as well as your transmission controls, which are right here at your hip pocket, which is really great because you can see it real well, and you know, as you're driving, you're not having to constantly be able to try to find it. And then finally, at the very tail end here, we have our 4-point hydraulic leveling system, and we use a Lippert components leveling system, and it's a dual action system. And actually, what that means is that with it being 4 points, both the retraction and the extension of the jacks is done hydraulically. So we don't rely on spring-loaded systems that have a tendency to break and fail and keep you in a place you don't want to be when you're ready to go. And so really everything in this coach just is perfect for really any environment, any situation that you need to be in.
It really is. This is really impressive. I'm sure there's a million more items we could touch on inside, but I know we are all eager to see the exterior of this unit, so let's go. All right, so now we are outside of this Thor Tuscany 45 MX, and I think she's about as pretty on the outside as she is on the inside.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say.
Take us around.
Okay, well, I mean, the first thing that I really love about this coach is the entry. So you'll notice it's a wider door. This is actually a 32.5-inch wide door. So it's just massive getting in and out. I mean, if you need to bring your groceries in or whatever, no problem. And then you'll see you have this nice, what we call a box step. So it's just a much more stable position, and a really nice upgrade we did a couple years ago, and just definitely, you know, suits this motorhome and how luxurious it is. And then if you step back a little bit with me, Ashley, you'll notice that the way that the roof line works, we actually integrate the patio awnings into the roof line. So the cap actually is pitched up a little bit, and then we're able to tie those box awnings in. And what's nice about the Girards now is that we actually added the second patio awning standard for 2019. Maybe one of the biggest changes that we made. And so, you know, what's great about our coach, you know, we had so much fun in the inside and it being so residential. Probably the most fun RVing is when you're outside enjoying these different environments you get to go visit in. And so basically this whole side of the coach is a patio. And so it's the biggest patio we have, and they're the really nice, you know, double pitched awnings. So you have nice shade and nice depth with that.
No, that's really nice.
Yeah, and then so as I work our way down, you know, one thing I also point out a lot, dual fuel, but it's above the belt line. So with this coach, it's got a 150-gallon fuel tank on board. So we want to make sure you can fill as efficiently and easily as possible. By bringing that fuel fill up above the belt line, you get a direct gravity feed down into the tank. You know, sometimes you'll see these fuel fills down below, and you're literally having to shoot the fuel up to go down. And so there's two problems with that. It takes longer, or it could end up back on top of you, which we don't want to see that happen.
No, absolutely not.
Yep, and then there is keyless entry for the front door. And I mentioned earlier that the fob will allow you to do it, but then you also could punch in the code. And you can do this for the entry door and all the baggage compartments. You can lock them or unlock them just with the push of a button, so you don't have to carry your keys around with you or whatnot.
Very nice.
Yep, big tires, as I mentioned, Michelin, and obviously aluminum wheels. And you'll see that the whole belt line here is completely straight. There's not any ups and downs to it. We designed this Atlas foundation to where we're actually beefing up the chassis altogether because there's such huge slides, and they're hydraulic slides. And so we redesigned that whole area because we wanted to create a larger amount of storage down below. And so you'll see here, with no propane on board, it allows for, you know, a nice large front compartment. And then as you work your way back, we have some even larger compartments here. And so with this one, once you open it up, this has a 60-inch slide tray in it.
Nice.
And so it's not only very convenient, but it's also very sturdy. So you can see I can get right up into it.
Yeah.
And it's massive, easy to pull in and out. And then where your hands are, you'll notice that this actual aluminum in the bag storage got thicker. We went from a .060 to a .080 aluminum, so it's a very heavy door, well insulated, and so it's going to keep all this area protected. And one thing that we do as Thor is we actually heat both the storage area and the wet bay compartment. Most companies only use one heat exchanger down below, but we actually use two, so you never have to worry about anything in the storage bay getting compromised by cold weather.
Oh, that's really nice. And this passes all the way through.
It does. So yeah, you can actually open this either way.
And
so
it'll slide out on the other way.
It will.
Very
It'll go both ways. It's dual directional. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very well sealing, and you know, we water test all of our coaches before they actually hit the road, so we make sure that everything's going to be well protected.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And you've got your seamless windows again, or frameless windows there.
Yeah, frameless windows, and you know, even in the bathroom, the half bath, we put a nice large window in. That's one thing we found with a lot of the companies they fail to do. I don't know if they're trying to save money or what, but who doesn't want a window in the half bath? I just don't quite get that one. Yep, and then even more storage. I almost forgot that, there's even more down here. So it just goes on and on. I think it's like 240 cubic feet of storage, so just a massive amount. And then finally, this is going to be where your wet bay is. So you're going to have both your black, your gray, and then your fresh water tanks right here. One thing that we also like to do on all the brands is put a fresh water fill in. So you're somewhere where you don't have city water pressure, you can just go ahead and fill that up manually.
Nice, easy enough.
Yeah.
Very nice. And this right here is...
That's a docking light.
Okay.
Yeah, so light. Both on the sides and on the rear.
Okay.
So again, if you want to try to park this thing at night, you can.
Nice, 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 nice. Those wheels are so big.
Yep, and then with the tag axle as well. And then, you know, as we slide back to the rear, you'll see that we've done a few little changes here that we'll cover, but you have your DEF tank, and we also have an additional fill on the other side, so you can fill it up depending on where the fuel station pump is located. You can do that very easily. And then in this compartment, this is all changed for 2019. We actually used to have the batteries up in the closet on all the tag axle brands, but we actually brought them down now, so you'll see them as we move our way to the back. But we've reorganized the space to allow for room for the batteries. But up above here, this is going to be your inverter, and that's a 2800 watt. So we actually raised the size of it, because as you get into a Tuscany, you're going to have nicer electronics, bigger refrigerator, bigger everything. So we want to make sure that we're able to power everything. And then the fact that it's white also should tell you something special, and that is that it's a pure sine wave inverter. So when we're converting that direct current to alternating current, it's going to be a cleaner signal. Okay. So that'll allow all your appliances and your electronics to basically have a longer life, because the cleaner energy is just going to provide for that. We talked about solar panels in the past, but when we go to a Tuscany, we actually go ahead and start with 200 watts right off the chute. So there's going to be two panels with the ability to add a third, which the backer's already up there for it, and so that's basically. And then here on the left side, you have your chassis battery disconnect. So if you ever want to park this coach for an extended period of time, shelve it for the winter or whatnot, you can just turn that off, and you don't have any parasitic drain that could take any of the power away from the chassis battery. So it'll start when you want it to. Yep. And then finally in the rear, this is going to be where your chassis batteries are located and your house. So we actually put the chassis batteries are going to be two 12-volt batteries, which are going to be maintenance free. And then as we work our way to the back, there's going to be six 6-volt batteries to help with the house. So we added an additional two on the Tuscany product. But it's nice because they're in a place where you can actually locate them and deal with them the right way. We have companies that put them in the basement, like where it's around the storage. You have to move all your storage out of the way. We put them in a nice place where they're going to be easily accessible.
Definitely. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a look back here.
All right, that sounds good. So here we are at the back, and as I mentioned earlier, we've done some reorganizing of space, and one of the things I think was one of our primary concerns is battery location. But you can see now we've located them down here on the right side of the compartment. So up top are the chassis batteries, which are maintenance free. Okay. And then we've added an additional 2 batteries, so there's a total of 6 house batteries on board. And you can see there's plenty of height, very accessible, and really in a great spot. And obviously with the Tuscany being a side mount radiator unit, it really lends to some advantages when it comes to serviceability. So serpentine belt, filters, fuel filter, all that stuff is right here, and easy to get at. And it's just nice to be able to look at this engine and say, hey, there it is, and it's not hidden by anything. The cooling package on board is awesome. Competitively, when it comes to power, we're at the top of the food chain. So we use an 8.9 liter Cummins motor. It's 450 horsepower, believe it or not, and delivers 1,250 pound-feet of torque.
Wow.
So really any mountain range you can handle, I mean, this coach is game for. And so we're doing some awesome things. It's got a 3,000 Allison 6-speed transmission coupling with the motor as well. And yeah, it's got everything you need. Plus, with this being a tag axle, we've actually added a 15,000 pound hitch here on the rear, which is the tops that you can get. And you can see that the lighting, in terms of the tail lights, they're LED. And then when you look up above, you got docking lights, you got your rear camera, and then we have a nice fairing up top here to again hide. So what's nice about this this awning package is that with it being integrated, not only are they tied in the roof line, but it hides the air conditioning, so it almost gives you almost like a bus-like feeling.
Yeah.
We actually wrap that all way around the rear, so it really makes a difference. And
it's really beautiful.
Yeah, and we've made the cap nice and pretty. It's got lots of chrome on it, so nobody's going to be pulling up too close to you because it'll definitely
intimidate. It's pretty intimidating.
It's pretty sweet.
It's awesome. Well, great. Yeah. Anything on the other side that you want to touch base on?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm noticing this real fast. You've mentioned Atlas Foundation a few times. I know when we were in the cab area.
Sure.
So what exactly does that do for me?
That's a great question. So we build our own proprietary foundation. We call it Atlas. So basically the whole undercarriage of the coach, when we bring the chassis in, we build a platform on top of it. And that platform is designed specific to not only every floor plan, every length and every brand, so we can make it perfect. We can balance it out, and so it's going to ride much better. And then the other thing we've been able to do is it actually allows us to build bigger slide outs. So you'll notice when you look down the side of this coach how long this slide out is. So our square footage is huge. It's so open inside. People want to spend more time in them because we have the ability to do it. And the hybrid trusses that we build, we actually don't mount them to the sides of the frame rails. We actually build them up and above. And we also build some really cool anti-camber bars that are 2 by 3 inches that run right underneath the actual spine or frame rails of the coach. So there's not body roll and sway, there's not any energy and vibration that rolls up into the coach, and it's structurally just so much stronger. And when you get up into like the Venetian and the Tuscany, that Atlas foundation gets a lot heavier, and so we put a lot of weight and structure, into that top section of the outside of the coach, so it just makes it so much better.
Yeah, it seems to be so much more durable. So no, this is awesome. This is really, really nice.
So as we were coming around, you can see this is actually that secondary DEF fill, and it's up above and really easily managed. And then as we slide forward here, this is where you're going to find your wet bay compartment.
Okay.
So open that up for you here.
Oh, nice. There we go.
And then you see there's your central water filtration. You have your dumps, so it's very easily managed. All your controls for your valves for both your hot and your cold water, very easily winterized. And I think I mentioned before, but we do put a separate heat exchanger designated in this bay. So we're going to keep good heat down here that's specifically located to protect that against the elements.
Yeah, we don't want anything freezing. Okay, so you just finished talking about, I guess, heating and whatnot. Now, you mentioned inside, and I forgot to ask you, Aqua Hot. So how does that differ from just a typical furnace?
So this doesn't have a propane furnace or a gas electric hot water heater on board. It's all contained within this Aqua Hot system. And so what it basically is, it's a 4-gallon tank of antifreeze water mixture, glycol solution essentially, and we have a diesel burner underneath that's going to be fed off of the main fuel tank, which is 150 gallons, and it will heat that fluid and then disperse throughout the unit to these small radiators. Basically they call them heat exchangers. And so this coach has 3 zones. It also has a zone down below for both the storage and the wet bay compartments to keep the areas heated. And it's a hydronically heated system. So what that basically means to you is that it's not going to be a dry heat. So with propane, over the course of time, it's going to start to strip the air of moisture. And no matter how much square footage we have in this thing, there's still a limited amount of airspace that you have involved. So what's so great about it is you can travel to any environment, stay for extended periods of time, and you're not going to be uncomfortable. So it truly makes it a 4-season coach. And it's so funny because I run into people all the time that really didn't know much about Aqua Hot, then they ended up buying a unit with it. And it becomes one of those things where it's a criteria that you have to have on your next motorhome. So it's exciting for that reason, but there's also other benefits. I mean, it gives you unlimited hot water, which is a great thing. So if you like a long shower when you're staying at a place, you can do that. It's a quieter heating system, so if you get affected by noise at night that disturbs your sleep, you're not going to have that problem. There's a much more consistent heat throughout the entire coach, and it's a much more efficient system as well. And so you can be out for extended periods of time, and you don't have to worry about propane. You don't have to worry about running out, because this coach is going to be able to stay heated for a very long period of time.
All right, nice. Okay, well, thanks for sharing that with me, because I was debating between the two. So no, that's nice to know the differences there.
You're welcome. And then looking up above, one thing I hadn't mentioned before, but you'll see that there's actually a cover on the topper awning, so that keeps it protected against branches and any of the elements. So we encase those, and that's an upgrade that you get when you go up into the Tuscany brand.
Okay, very nice.
And paint-wise, we have 4 different colors of paint that we offer, and this style of paint is called Sickens brand, and so it's a more elastic paint. And because these coaches are made of fiberglass, and because coaches go to all different kinds of weather conditions, whether it be Arizona in the summertime or Canada in the winter, this fiberglass will expand and contract with temperature change. And so what's so nice about this paint and having the elasticity is it'll actually be able to move with the fiberglass, so it won't splinter or crack. And so it's going to look as good 5-10 years from now as it does today.
Very, very nice. And then down here, I'm guessing, is that the pass-through storage again?
This is more of your storage areas in the coach. So again, because remember, this goes both ways, and it's that nice large 60-inch slide tray, so that makes it really nice. And again, these heavier insulated baggage doors that work really well. And then as you move your way up forward here, this is actually going to be where the Aqua Hot 400D unit is located.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a very compact system and very effective. And also you'll notice that the bay lining is actually a pebble grain fiberglass, so much more easy to see in low light situations, and it's an insulated type material, so it also helps with keeping the elements away from affecting your environment down here.
Very nice.
And as we work our way forward, you can see there's the other side of the dual fuel fill. So again, very easily accessible, and it's nice because it's kind of your hip pocket when you're in the co-pilot seats, or in the pilot seat, I should say. So it really works out well. And then finally up front here, we have your hydraulic pump. So that's for your jacks, and then also this coach has only hydraulic slide outs on it. Really a huge advantage. A lot of the companies run rack slides where you can see the exposed racks on the side. It's a less expensive slide, doesn't have as much power, but this coach has all hydraulics all the way around. So it's going to be a much more reliable, faster, more durable system. So we invest upwards of $3,000-4,000 more money on slide systems on this motorhome between the Atlas foundation being beefed up and then the actual mechanisms that we're using.
Very cool. Awesome. Nice.
And then right up above here, you can see that they're fully chrome mirrors, even the arms, and they're heated and they're tall. And then you also have the cameras that are built right up in the mirror. So it works out real well. And again, we just want people to be comfortable behind the driver's chair, and you can, because you can just see everything.
Full visibility. Really nice.
That's it.
Wow, this is beautiful. Such a gorgeous coach.
Yeah, so we tried something different with the cap design on this one. We actually contracted a firm out of Chicago, and they worked with us on the design, and it's probably the most aggressive cap that we've come up with to date. And one of the things I really love about it is this lighted emblem we're doing now. And so it's chrome when it's not lit up, and then obviously if you're in the parks or whatnot and you want to advertise the Thor brand, it does a good job with that. And we got some really cool accent lighting that goes around the outside. And this motorhome has a 10K gen, as I mentioned before, and it's actually on a power tray as well. So with the 10K, you have to actually service it from the side rather than underneath. So when you get to this level of coach with 3 15 BTU roof airs, it's necessary to go to the bigger generator. But again, we have to power it out. A lot of companies do like a manual type system. Very difficult because these generators are large and heavy, and so we want to make it easy for the customer, and it's all tied in with the hydraulic system. Also, visibility-wise, we really focus hard on making sure that you can see everything on the road, and so the vertical height that we have here is the best in the business. And obviously, the bigger the coach, the more intimidating it'll be the first time you drive it. But by the time you sit behind the steering wheel, you'll realize that it's just a piece of cake. Safety is also really important. We have a steel firewall that we well insulate, so it's going to keep it nice and warm on those cold drives up into the mountains. And then also we frame around the A-pillars, which are going to be what's on either side of the windshield with steel, and then we wrap it around the front. So it's a true steel cockpit. So if you ever were to get into a situation where you were to put the coach on its side or something like that because of, you know, something that was out of your control, we do build some extra strength into the front of the coach that really keeps you safe and your family safe.
Yeah, no, this is really, really nice. This is awesome.
Back to front, inside out, that's really what the Tuscany is all about. Being our flagship model, we've just thrown everything we possibly can at this thing, and we're really proud of what it's going to be able to accomplish here for 2019. And keep in mind, you know, we have, you know, this new Palazzo with the new caps, brand new for 19. The Aria, which is probably the hottest diesel motorhome in the business. And then we've done some really exciting things on the 2019 Venetian as well. So it's an exciting year for Thor Motor Coach.
Oh, and it definitely will be, especially here at Motorhome Specialist too. But seriously, this was such an incredible walkthrough, so extensive. I've done several of these, and I'd have to say this was very, very detailed, and I learned so many new things about this, and I'm definitely a huge fan of this beautiful Tuscany behind us. With that said, I guess everyone here at Motorhome Specialist, we could not thank you enough for taking all the time out, coming down here, giving us this walkthrough on this motor coach, and really, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thanks, Ashley.
And guys, thank you again for tuning in and watching this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, or if you want specific pricing or details of inventory that we have here on any Thor Motor Coach product, like this Tuscany here, visit us at MHSRV.com or give us a call. We look forward to seeing you.
If you would like to see sales prices from the only full-line and fully authorized Thor Motor Coach dealership in the world, visit Motorhome Specialist at MHSRV.com or call 800-335-6054. Motorhome Specialist is the #1 volume-selling motorhome dealership in the world, with over $165 million in inventory to choose from, all at one central location, making it easy to fly in from anywhere in the country and then drive your new dream motor coach home. All sale priced at a minimum of 25% off the manufacturer's suggested retail price every day. You will also enjoy the premier delivery process that can only be found at MHSRV. From the extensive pre-check and make-ready process to the only dealership performed and fully automated rain booth test in the industry, you'll see a world of difference at Motorhome Specialist. These additional detail and inspection processes are just a few of the countless steps taken here at Motorhome Specialist to help ensure that you not only receive a better selection and price, but also the unparalleled quality and service that you deserve to go along with it. So get busy living in an all-new Thor Motor Coach from Motorhome Specialist today. Why pay more? Why settle for less?